Let's go back to KZN, the funeral service of General Vejay Ramlakan. Ayanda, what's the latest?
Yeah, good morning once again to you, Desiree, and to our viewers. The funeral procession, as we said just a few minutes ago, has now arrived here at the Durban City Hall. Of course, the late Lieutenant General Vejay Ramlakan making his final journey from his home in Chatsworth here to the Durban City Hall for his funeral service. Gathered today is the members of the South African National Defence Force as they bid farewell to one of their commanders, a man who had done so much for the military and so much for the country. And without wasting much time, let me bring in now, speaking for the South African National Defence Force, in particular this funeral here is Colonel Stembi. So, Mogai, Colonel, thank you so much for agreeing to chat with us, and condolences to you and of course just seeing your members here today. A very difficult day. You're here to bid farewell to an exceptional man. Many in society, his close friends, those have described him as a leader par excellence. And of course, having worked within the military, you know him much more.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, our late General Vijay Injured Ramlakan was one of those leaders who stood head and shoulder above the rest. He was an intelligent general, a good medical doctor, but a soldier at the same time. His passing has dealt us a very, very heavy blow. We are here today to lay him to rest in dignity, because he deserves this kind of dignity and the military honors that we are according him today here in his hometown of Durban. And we are here as the military. We understand because of COVID-19 restrictions, not all of us can be here, but we are pleased that our rest of the family can tune in virtually and be part of this service virtually.
Earlier on in the week, I know one of the memorial services was held by the South African, the military health services, and a number of speakers there. And I picked up on one of your members who was speaking about what he did for the military, transformation in the military, how much he cared, particularly to see young soldiers coming in and making their way up the ranks of the Defence Force.
Our late general, no doubt, was a change agent. He believed in transformation, which is one of the policies of our government. He helped a lot of youngsters. I'm one of them, whom he helped from previously disadvantaged backgrounds to go through the ranks in the military and afford them the opportunity to be skilled and to be trained. And we will miss him. We will miss him. We believe that his departure was premature. We still needed him around. And he did a lot for the country. Thank you.
One of the important projects that he worked on, which was quite close to his heart, having listened to one of the tributes from a very close friend of his, Dr. Krish Valabji, who worked on the project, was the book. He documented the history of the military, and it was titled The Fourth Dimension, The History of the Military Health in South Africa, a 770-page book, which we are told he completed in record time. Take us through, and how important is documenting the history of the military health and the book. He's left that now to the country. He's left that now to the military.
It was very important for him that this history, this inclusive history, I might add, needed to be documented, because prior to 1994, as you would know, only one side of our history was documented, and the contributions of healthcare professionals in the former non-statutory forces was not documented anywhere. So you had a one-sided history of the military health in our country, and therefore it was important for him that the other side of the military health history of our country was also documented, and that was the thinking behind this project. Then he decided that he would still document the history of pre-1994, but also the history of the non-statutory forces. And he did that in record time, like you said, a big book. to read. Yeah.
Colonel, a lot of people have now said there's a lot to learn from him. You've said that yourself, you learned, you are where you are through the role that he played also in your personal growth in the Defence Force. What then do the younger soldiers learn from a man such as the Lieutenant General?
One thing we can all learn from him, he came from a very, very humble background, like all of us, from previously disadvantaged communities. But he always understood that we are all human beings. We have the same cognitive abilities like other races in the country. All we needed was to be given the space and the opportunity and training to shine. So he believed in that. He's a shining example of that, and we all can learn from him to say that no matter our background, humble background, poor backgrounds, but we can claim our space in our beautiful country.
Thank you so much for your time this morning. Colonel Stimbiso Ngagai there speaking to us as the funeral should get underway at Desiree very shortly. In fact, as we're speaking about one of the projects, the book that the Lieutenant General documenting the history of the military service, the health military service here in South Africa. One of the other projects that we are told sadly that he had started as a former prisoner in Durban Island, having been sentenced in 1986, is that he was busy documenting the history of the over 3,000 ex-prisoners on Durban Island, and unfortunately that is a project that we're told he was unable to finish. But hopefully we will be speaking to the leaders of the ANC who are going to be here at this funeral, where they come as well together to bid a farewell to a commander and a leader par excellence. Desiree?
Ayanda, thank you so much for that update.